Shannon and I have both been in the shoe business for a long time, decades, and I had been overseas quite a bit, and over time saw human rights abuses, planet abuses, and at a certain point it became too much. And I couldn't do it anymore. I wouldn't do it anymore. It was a hard stop for me. I had to get out of that overseas mass production game. At the same time, Shannon was having a journey of her own where she was, where when she started there was this idea of community and a basis in community at this company, and that went away, and she felt a pretty strong need for it, and she had her own kind of awakening.
It's a big paradigm shift. You know, it's something that over 40 years, you know, just became the way to do business, and to tell people, hey, you know, this way that we've been doing business isn't the best way for a lot of reasons. And it seems so daunting. It feels like you're boiling the ocean, but you know, we kind of joke like, hey, there's a puddle right down the street. Why don't we go and kind of clean that puddle up, and then, you know, we'll just kind of keep moving. And those small drops all add up. So, we can all say, yeah, it's wrong, and just lament in it, but, you know, let's do something about it and take an active role.
Those things came together, and local production and community, and that's COMUNITYmade.
So what we're doing here with this shoe, we're trying to marry what we've been doing at COMUNITYmade for the last few years with now what we're capable of with local partners like KX Labs, where we can have a knit upper, but then we can have leather components that we've made in-house, like the tongues and the heel poles, and have certain things that we can do and that they can do that are somewhat looking to the past while also looking to the future. And there are things that can be done at KX that are entirely knit uppers. There are things that can be done that's technical on another level. We want to do something more in the middle of like where shoes were traditionally made in LA versus where things are going. This, for us, is a connective tissue leading into what the types of shoes you'll be seeing coming out of KX Labs.
And because we're dealing with, I'm not going to say high labor costs, because we're dealing with appropriate labor costs, you tend to focus a lot on keeping a product that's less labor intensive and more about the materials.
KX knits their uppers out of a recycled polyester knit. That can be plastic waste from the ocean, that can be plastic waste from water bottles. That's just, it can be a recycled knit, which is an amazing story for material in itself, but also it's just a yarn that they can knit in any kind of texture or any pattern or any color, limited at least to the color of the yarn that you can imagine.
We've got these clean, elegant looking silhouettes, and that is a product of the environment. It's not a product of a deliberate design direction.
So looking at this shoe, we have the traditional kind of cup sole bottom unit that rubber soles on sneakers have been made out of for as long as we can remember, as long as I can remember at least. We have the single piece knit upper from KX Labs. We have the shoelaces, we have the tongue and heel pull tab made out of leather that we're making in our space here and then bringing over to KX Labs. And then we have the lining materials that are all internal. So doing something like this where we're marrying the old with the new, we're able to create somewhat of a hybrid style in a way that would not make, it maybe would be possible with a factory in Asia, but we would be shipping so many things back and forth. It would be a carbon footprint nightmare. And we're able to have this final product that was all made in downtown LA here. We can now access the level of technicality with a knit upper that wasn't available in America prior, let alone Los Angeles around the corner from us. So compared to the old way of having to travel around the world to have a single meeting and then come back and hope that cross your fingers and things are done well.
It brings our product into the 21st century. Modern, 21st century, innovative product made locally, which hasn't been done in 70 years.
For us, it's almost like a farm to table. We call it factory to feet. You know, it's really about keeping it closer to where your customers are.